Hi, my name is Per. I teach multimedia at the Business Academy in Aarhus, and this is an introduction to JavaScript. Actually, in this introduction, we will have a look at something called the DOM, and that is the Document Object Model. The Document Object Model is actually the foundation of all work you do in JavaScript. So if you understand the DOM, you can do pretty much anything that's possible in a JavaScript. So let's have a look at the DOM and see what it is. Here you have my Visualize Your Mind. This is a Linux mind map program, and here I made a model of the DOM. You can say that the document is the spot where everything comes out. So it's more or less the root of a tree. As you know, HTML, there is a section called the head where we put all kind of meta information and scripts and styles and so on. And when they are ready, you can do things to your body. Actually, the body is here, and it would be so cool if we could go in and take, say, a div with the ID of something. I would just call it my ID here. And then we should add some content here by JavaScript. So, and that if that content would be HTML, well, so much the better. That would actually be pretty cool. So that's what we're trying to do in this little tutorial. Let's try to add a little bit of HTML to a div. In order to do that, I have prepared a JS fiddle, and here you can see some of the result, but let's take it from rock bottom so that we start from almost nothing. Here's a div. It could be an article, it could be anything. We call it my div, or whatever you want to. So here you see that it has the ID of my div, and it is this ID we will use in a moment when we want to address the HTML and add something more here. But notice that this space is empty. So how can we do that? Well, as you saw in the model, everything hangs from the document. So we could write document get element by ID. In this case, the JavaScript looks for an ID. In this case, we need my div. So I'll just copy it down here, my div. And then in JavaScript, we have a function called inner HTML. And inner HTML will be able to add a little bit of HTML where you want it. So, we need an equal sign here. So you could write hello world. And then a semicolon. The semicolon in JavaScript actually means that a statement has finished and we can go on to something new. And this is pretty common in many code languages. But let's see if this thing works. Can we do this? Yeah, here you see hello world. But you may also notice that this code line is very, very long. It would be nice if we could do it a little bit shorter than this and a little bit more convenient. So we'll do that. We'll create a variable by the keyword let, and then you could call it my var or whatever. Let's just call it the div, just to say something else. And let's say that we will save this part of the document inside the variable. So every time I write the div, I would get my div up here. So we'll remove this, we don't need it. If I click run now, nothing happens, and that is exactly as wanted, because if now I write the div and, oh, we only need one dot here, and dot inner HTML equals hello world, then watch what will happen. It says hello world. So as you can see, there is nothing inside the div up here. The content has been created by manipulating the document object model. So the question is, are we able to add a little bit of HTML here? Let's add an h1 tag and see, will this work? This is a very, very interesting experiment, so let's see what it does. Yeah, it works. Now you are probably used to adding a little bit of styling. You would do that as CSS that you can see up here. Color, make green, and if we run it, our text becomes green. But actually, if you want to, you can manipulate the CSS. So you can go in and write the div style equals, and then you can add a little bit of CSS here. Color, let's say orange here, and run it. As you can see now, it becomes orange. Or if you want to have several lines of code, you could add a backtick. And then we could say color let's do it with a hash. This should be a green, I guess. Let's see if it works. It does. And oh, let's see. We could say it could be just line. Now you see it's a very, very green that we have here. And then we could add a background color. And probably you got the idea now, and we could just make it black. This is shorthand for black. So, and let's add a little bit of padding. Three EMs. And let's see, now we have a hello world, and the text is nicely centered into a black something. So in this way, you can manipulate with not only the inner text of a tag, you can add styles. And this means that you have done something like this, style equals, and then whatever styles we wrote here, or it could equal to the fact if you added something similar in CSS. But in this case, we can actually manipulate the different sources of things that we are using in our code. So that's pretty much it. That was a video about the document object model, and I hope that you enjoyed this little demonstration of the document object model. And I also hope that you liked what you saw. And if you like it, you should know that you can obviously follow me on Twitter. It comes up in a moment where you can follow me. And if you like this video, you are welcome to either like it or to subscribe, and any support like that will be appreciated very much. So thank you for watching this little introduction to the DOM, and I hope that you will have a lot of good experiences with your code, because from now on you can actually go in and change any tag that you'd like to change. And then that's all for today. Have a nice evening or whatever time of the day it is where you are right now. Bye bye.